I have a dear, dear friend who's going through a very hard time, my friend Maria. And I went to her house for dinner, and she was telling me this awful time she went through. And I wanted to be sympathetic, but at the same time, I was really pissed off that she didn't call me. And I was like, what the hell? Like, I'm here. I love you. I support you. Like, you're always there for me. Why wouldn't you let me be there for you? Like, how selfish are you? Like, you wouldn't let me be there for you. She did. She says to me, I did. I reached out to you a number of times. And I look at my phone, like the text. She goes, want to come over? I'm like, how the hell do I know that that's a cry for help versus every other time you ask me over, which sounds exactly the same? And so she read an article that says that when somebody's struggling, all they need is 8 minutes of help or support from a friend to get them back on track. And so we came up with a code. We write to each other, you have 8 minutes. It means I need you. And anybody can step out of a meeting for 8 minutes to be there for a friend.
Welcome to Self-Mastery Labs. Let's get started. Chapter 1. The power of clear communication in friendships. Friendships, like any relationship, thrive on communication. But let's be honest, how often do we assume our friends can read our minds? It's almost like we expect them to have superpowers, to know exactly what we're going through, how we're feeling, and what we need without us ever saying a word. We send a text like, wanna hang out? And somehow hope they'll pick up on the fact that we're actually screaming for help. Here's the problem though. No one's a mind reader, not even your closest friends. Misinterpreting signals is more common than we care to admit. You might think you're dropping hints, but to your friend, it could just look like a casual invite. A simple message like, wanna come over? Sounds like any other day, right? But when you're struggling, that message might hold so much more meaning for you. The issue arises when we expect others to know we're hurting without actually telling them. It's like throwing a life raft into the water and expecting someone on the shore to know you need it, without ever yelling, help! This is why clear communication is critical, especially when you're going through something tough. You can't leave it to chance or assume that your friends will understand your needs if you don't explicitly express them. Yes, it's vulnerable to say, I'm struggling. Can we talk? But it's also necessary. No one is going to think you're a burden. In fact, most people want to help. They just don't always know how or when to step in because, well, they're not psychic. We often hear that communication is key, and that's not just some empty saying. In friendships, clear communication is what turns good friends into great friends. When you say exactly what you need, there's no room for misunderstanding, and your friend can show up for you in the way that matters most. They won't have to guess or wonder if they're doing enough. They'll know, and honestly, that clarity builds trust. It strengthens your connection because suddenly both people feel seen and understood. So next time you're going through something, remember this: there's no harm in being direct. You're not inconveniencing anyone by asking for support. In fact, by being clear, you're giving your friends the opportunity to be there for you in the best possible way. It's a win-win because you get the help you need, and they get the satisfaction of knowing they've really been there for you. Communication, when done right, is the foundation of any great friendship. Chapter 2. Emotional reactions and expectations. Navigating the messy parts of friendship. Friendships are a beautiful thing, but let's be real, they're not without their bumps in the road. Sometimes, even with the best of intentions, feelings can get messy. One minute you're enjoying a nice dinner, and the next you're feeling angry or hurt because your friend didn't show up for you in the way you expected. The truth is, it's easy to feel let down by the people we care about when our expectations don't align with reality. Think about it. How often do we expect our friends to know what's going on in our heads? We might feel like we're sending out clear signals that we need support, but those signals can easily get lost in translation. When you're going through something tough, you might feel like your friend should just know that you need them. But here's the hard truth: they might not. They might see your message as just another casual invite, not the SOS it actually is. And when that happens, it's natural to feel upset. You start thinking, how could they not realize I needed them? Or, why didn't they check on me? These emotional reactions are totally valid, but here's the thing. Before you get too deep into those feelings of hurt or frustration, it's important to ask yourself, Did I clearly communicate what I needed? More often than not, the answer is no. We expect our friends to be mind readers, and when they don't live up to those expectations, we feel disappointed. Managing these emotions and expectations is key to keeping friendships strong. It's not fair to expect someone to know what you need if you haven't told them. It's like expecting someone to arrive at your party without ever sending them an invite. When you're upset that a friend didn't show up for you in the way you wanted, take a step back. Did you tell them you needed support? Were you clear about how they could help? If not, it might be time for a heart-to-heart. Expectations can make or break a friendship, but they don't have to be a source of tension if you address them openly. Be honest with your friends about what you need, especially during tough times. It's not a sign of weakness to ask for help. It's a sign of trust. By managing your emotions and communicating your expectations, you can avoid the misunderstandings that often lead to frustration or disappointment, and in the end, your friendship will be stronger for it. Chapter 3. The 8-minute rule. A simple way to ask for help without overwhelm. Life is busy. We're constantly juggling work, family, social obligations, and a million other things. So, when we're going through something tough, it can feel overwhelming to ask a friend for help. Maybe you think you need hours of their time, or that you're asking too much by wanting them to drop everything and rush to your side. But here's the thing, sometimes all you really need is a few minutes of their undivided attention. Enter the 8-minute rule. The 8-minute rule is a simple yet powerful idea. Sometimes all it takes is 8 minutes of support to make you feel better. It's short enough that anyone can fit it into their day, but long enough to offer meaningful connection. When a friend asks, "Do you have 8 minutes?" They're not asking for a lot, but those 8 minutes can make a world of difference. It's a way of saying, "I need you right now," without making it feel like an overwhelming request. Why 8 minutes? Because in just a few focused minutes, you can talk through what's going on, get some advice, or simply feel heard. It's about quality, not quantity. You don't need to monopolize someone's day to feel supported. Sometimes a short, meaningful conversation is all it takes to lift your spirits. And because it's only 8 minutes, it feels manageable for both the person asking for help and the friend providing it. The beauty of the 8-minute rule is that it eliminates the awkwardness of asking for support. It sets a clear boundary. This is all I need right now, just a few minutes. It takes the pressure off both people and ensures that help is available, even on the busiest of days. Whether you're in the middle of a hectic workday or juggling family commitments, stepping aside for 8 minutes is something we can all do. And here's the kicker. Those 8 minutes might just be the lifeline your friend needs. It's a small investment of time, but it can have a huge impact. If you and your friends don't already have a system like this, now's the time to create one. Having a clear, simple way to ask for support makes it easier for everyone to show up when it matters most. And that's what friendship is all about. Being there, even if it's just for 8 minutes. Chapter 4. Small gestures, big impact. Why little acts of support matter more than you think. In the world of social media and constant comparisons, we often feel like showing up for someone has to be a grand gesture. You see people writing long posts about their best friend's birthday or planning extravagant surprises, and it's easy to think that's the only way to prove you care. But here's the truth. The small gestures are what really count. It's the little moments, the quick check-ins, and the short conversations that build lasting, meaningful connections. When a friend is struggling, they don't always need a massive outpouring of time and energy. Often, what they need is something as simple as a few minutes of your undivided attention. This is where the 8-minute rule comes into play again. A quick focused conversation can make someone feel supported in ways you might not expect. It's not about solving their problems or giving groundbreaking advice. Sometimes, just knowing someone is there and listening can be enough. Think about how many times you've hesitated to reach out to a friend because you didn't think you had the time. You assume that checking in will take hours, so you push it off, promising yourself you'll get to it later when things calm down. But the reality is, life rarely calms down. By the time you finally get around to reaching out, your friend may have already moved on. Or worse, they may have felt unsupported when they needed you the most. Small gestures like a quick, "How are you really doing?" or "Can we talk for a few minutes?" can make a world of difference. They show that you're thinking about the other person and that you're willing to be there, even if it's just for a little while. And those small moments, they add up. Over time, they strengthen the bond between you and your friends, creating a relationship that's resilient and supportive. Never underestimate the power of small acts of kindness. Whether it's sending a quick text, picking up the phone for a short call, or giving someone 8 minutes of your time, these little gestures have a big impact. They're what keep friendships strong in the long run. So next time you think about showing support, don't stress about making it grand or time consuming. Just focus on being present in the moment, even if it's brief. Your friend will feel the impact, and in turn, it will create a lasting ripple in your relationship. Small gestures are the glue that holds friendships together, and they're often the most meaningful ways to show you care. Chapter 5. Building a support system. Creating codes for connection. Friendships are meant to be a two-way street, where both parties are there for each other when it matters most. But in the chaos of life, even the best of friends can lose track of how to show up for one another. That's why creating a support system, like the 8-minute rule, can be a game changer. It's about setting up practical tools that make it easy to ask for help and just as easy for others to provide it. Establishing a code or a signal for when you need support is more than just a quirky thing you do with your friends. It's a powerful way to bridge the gap between needing help and actually getting it. Sometimes, when you're in a tough spot, it can feel overwhelming to even articulate what you need. You don't want to feel like a burden, or maybe you don't even know where to start. That's where having a simple, pre-agreed upon phrase like, "Do you have 8 minutes?" can come in handy. It cuts through the confusion and makes it clear, I need you right now, even if it's just for a few minutes. By creating these kinds of systems, you and your friends can avoid the misunderstandings that often happen when someone is in distress. Think about it. How many times have you been going through something tough but didn't reach out because you didn't want to impose? Or maybe you did reach out, but the way you did it was so casual that your friend didn't realize you needed them. A simple code eliminates all of that guesswork. This type of system also encourages reciprocity. It's not just about you asking for support, it's about creating an environment where your friends feel comfortable asking for help too. When both of you know that there's a simple, low-pressure way to say, I need you, it builds trust and makes it easier to lean on each other during tough times. And the best part? It's not a massive time commitment. Whether it's 8 minutes, 5 minutes, or an hour, it's the act of being there that counts, not the length of time. Encourage your friends to create similar systems. Maybe it's a code phrase, a symbol, or a specific emoji that means, I need to talk. Whatever it is, make sure it's clear and easy to use so there's no confusion. A support system like this strengthens the foundation of your friendship, ensuring that neither of you ever has to face life's challenges alone. By setting up these codes for connection, you're not just helping your friend, you're also fostering a deeper sense of understanding, empathy, and commitment. You're showing that friendship isn't about grand gestures or constant availability, it's about being there when it matters, even if it's just for 8 minutes. And that's it for today's video. I hope you found this journey through the ups and downs of friendship as meaningful as I did. Remember, friendships aren't always perfect. Sometimes signals get crossed, expectations aren't met, and emotions run high. But at the core, it's all about communication, vulnerability, and showing up, even if it's just for 8 minutes. So here's my question for you. What's stopping you from reaching out when you're struggling? Is it fear of burdening others, or maybe you think they won't understand? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your take on this, and maybe we can help each other unpack those feelings together. And if you're sitting there thinking, I don't have anyone I can lean on like that, know that you're not alone. Our community is here for you. You can always reach out to me or connect with others in the comments. This is a space where we support each other. No judgment, just connection. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more content like this. Let's keep building these connections, because at the end of the day, a few minutes of real, honest support can change everything. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.